Hello and welcome to this orientation for the Introduction to Philosophy summer course. And in this orientation, I'm going to take you through all of the assignments, what you need to do week by week, what to look for. As you'll see, the course is organized on a weekly basis. So there are 6 weeks in the course, and so we'll look at the assignments for each week, and we'll look at when they're due, and I'll show you where you can find everything you need to do the assignments and to do well in the course. Okay, so like I said, it's 6 weeks, 6-week course. We start on May the 28th and we go to July the 10th. And the course, is made up of 3 modules. So 3 sort of content modules of the way the course is structured. So for the first 2 weeks from May the 28th, which is when the course starts, to June the 9th, we'll be dealing with module 1, which is an ethical module, and it's on ethics and the good life. And then from June the 10th to the 23rd, we'll be dealing with module 2, which is on civil disobedience. And finally, from the last 2 weeks, June the 24th to July the 7th, we'll be dealing with module 3, which is on philosophy and mindfulness. And the final exam is set for July the 9th. As we'll see, the final exam is the 3rd of 3 exams in the course, so I'll talk you through the exams and how they work a little later on in this course orientation. So each module is, like I said, is 2 weeks, and each week we'll be doing a sub-module. So on ethics and the good life, we'll be focusing on the question of human nature, and are humans, is human nature good or evil? And we'll look at some historical texts around that question, and we'll be also looking at ethics around the world. So there are sub-modules for each week. Each module, remember, runs for 2 weeks. So the 3 modules will keep us oriented during the course. Okay, now it's very important to look carefully at the syllabus and the course map, and I've posted those together on the overview, where you'll find the introduction to the course, and you'll see those 2 documents: the syllabus, which has all of the information about the assignments, all of the due dates, and everything of that sort, and sort of more general information about the course as well, and information about the content. So that's all posted in the syllabus, and the course map gives you the map of all the due dates for the assignments, and gives you a sort of good sort of idea of looking at the organization of the course. So I'd strongly recommend downloading and printing both those 2 documents, the syllabus and the course map, and keeping them close to you, having them on your desk so that you can refer to them, so that you don't, it's kind of easy to miss a deadline if you're not paying attention. So having the course map and sort of having that sort of clear idea of what needs to be done and when, I think will be very helpful. So again, I'd strongly encourage downloading the syllabus and the course map and keeping them with you. Okay, so the weekly course content consists of readings, which are provided in PDF format on the Brightspace site. So you'll see those readings in PDF. So you'll be able to read those either on the site or download them. And video lectures. So often there are 2 or sometimes 3 video lectures per week. So the idea is to do the readings and to get as much as you can out of the readings, and to use the reading to sort of orient you in what we're talking about this week. And then have a look at the video lectures. And the video lectures will provide a kind of guide to the readings and sort of talk you through some of the concepts that are discussed. So together those 2 things will give you a platform to do the weekly assignments. So my advice would be to spend the first part of the week reading the course text and watching the lectures. So usually there are no assignments due unless there's an exam. There are no assignments due Monday to Wednesday. So this is the time that you might take in the early part of the week to absorb the readings, the lectures, and to look at any supplementary material that's provided as well. The readings and the video lectures, I would say, are definitely mandatory. If there's any additional material, you can look at that if you find it helpful and so on. Okay, so let's talk about the weekly tasks. So each week in the course, there will be 4 tasks to complete. So the first one, the hypothesis. The hypothesis is the name of the company that produces the markup software. So we're basically in the hypothesis markup assignment. We're marking up a text together, and that assignment is usually due on Thursday. And that assignment is 15% of the grade. And I'll show you in a short while the tasks that you have to do to complete that assignment. The discussion assignment is like a discussion board or a blog where you post on a discussion question. That assignment is usually due on Friday and it's worth 10%. The VoiceThread task requires you to upload a voice comment as a response to a video prompt that I will provide. So I'll explain that in a short while as well. So the VoiceThread task is a response to a video prompt. And the quiz is due at the end of the week. That's usually due on Sunday. The VoiceThread task is usually due on Saturday. So the quiz is due at the end of the week, and it's usually a multiple choice test. Again, I'll talk about that in a little while. So these are the tasks that must be completed on a weekly basis in the course. Okay, the other 45% of the grade is made up of the 3 exams that you'll take in the course, and the 3 exams are 15% of the grade each. So the exams, together with these weekly tasks, make up the grading and the assignments in the course. Okay, now I'm going to talk you through the individual assignments together, one by one here, starting with the markup assignment. Now, the markup assignment is an annotation assignment. That means we'll be marking up a text together. So we'll be highlighting, selecting, and making comments, asking questions about parts of the text. So to do this assignment and to get maximum points, you're required to do 3 things. You have to post a comment about a section of the reading. Now, the section could be a word, it could be a sentence, it could be a couple of sentences, it could be a paragraph. So it depends on the section you're commented on. So you'll highlight whatever section you're focusing on, and then you'll make a comment about that highlighted section. As you'll see, it's very easy to make comments, and you can see everybody's comments in the kind of comment, the comment margin. The second thing you're required to do is to ask a question about a part of the reading. So it could be something you're curious about, you want to know more. It could be something you're confused about and you don't understand why the author sort of posted about this or made this point. So you have to ask a question, and the third thing is to respond to a classmate's comment or question. And the response could be, your interpretation, whether you think it makes sense. You could sort of try to answer a question or sort of talk about how that really gets at something important. So as long as you do those 3 things, you'll get the points for this assignment. And the markup assignment, as I said, is due at the end of Thursday. Okay, so the most important thing here, I would say, in doing the markup assignment and approaching it, it's not like an essay where you're trying to prove that you've mastered the material. Okay, when we read a text, we're reading it because we want to know more about it. We haven't mastered it yet. We're trying to figure out how things work. So in your comments, I want to see some of that kind of idea that we're trying to figure things out together. And it's a very good thing here to sort of to highlight, to show the areas where you think something doesn't make sense, or where you're confused, or where you want to know more for it to make sense, and you want to know how it would work in a different context. So those are the kind of critical questions we're asking when we mark up a text. Okay, it's about trying to find ways where we can sort of find out more about it, where we can propose ideas where it's vague, where we can sort of extend something so maybe it makes sense in a different context. So we're bringing a critical spirit to the reading, and we're trying to look at it in a way that helps us to make more sense of it, and we're doing it collectively. So we're doing it together, we're marking up the text together, and we're trying to sort of understand it together. So that's the spirit of the markup assignment. And so you want to approach it in that spirit, that we're not in a position yet to sort of master the text. So we want to sort of ask questions about it, make comments that help us understand what's going on. Okay, let me talk about the discussion post. In this post, your task is to post your thoughts in the discussion forum in response to the written prompt or question. So with the discussion task, there are always two distinct tasks. You'll write a post in response to the question or prompt, and the post must be 100 words or more. That's the basic requirement, and as long as it's 100 words or more, it will be sufficient for that post. And secondly, I want you to respond substantively to a classmate's post. And what I mean by substantively is to say more than just "I agree" or "I think, good point," but you have to sort of expand on your response and say why you think it's a good point, why you think it makes sense, maybe add something else to it that sort of explains it. So those are things that I would consider a substantive response, where you're not just saying "well done, good point," but you're adding something to clarify the way that you're responding to your classmate's post. Make sure these posts are in your own words, and that they sort of reflect your own attempts to kind of struggle with the question and with the reading. It's very important that you write them in your own words. They're not AI generated. And that they reflect your own kind of struggle with the question, and so that will sort of stand you in good stead in terms of wrestling with the material and learning the material, so that you'll be in a good position to do the exams. Okay, so the VoiceThread task involves you uploading a voice response to the VoiceThread video prompt. So as you'll see, there's a short video, which is the video prompt, where I'll give you a question or an assignment to consider, and in response you'll do two distinct tasks. Okay, firstly, you'll respond to the prompt with a voice message. Make sure you explain your ideas fully. Okay, there's no need to do more than, say, a few minutes here, just sort of saying what you think, and sort of maybe giving examples, explaining your ideas. But a couple of minutes, a few minutes is fully sufficient to answer the question. The second thing you should do is to respond to a classmate's voice message. And here your response can be either voice or text. So you can respond in text if you prefer, or you can upload another voice message in response. And the VoiceThread tasks are usually due on Saturday. So the markup's Thursday, the discussion board Friday, and the VoiceThreads on Saturday. Okay, so the final weekly assignment is the weekly quiz. And the quiz will consist of 10 questions. They're mostly multiple choice. Not exclusively, there may be the occasional true false fill in the blank, but they're mostly multiple choice questions. And the quiz is based on the reading and the lectures for that particular week. Okay, so It's due on Sunday, so it's due at the end of the week. So it'll usually be the last thing you do that week when you've sort of mastered as much of the material as you can and you've done all the other assignments. Then it makes sense to do the quiz at the end of the week. So do your best to absorb the readings and the lectures, spend time with the other assignments, and then you'll be well placed to take the quiz at the end of the week. Okay, so at the end of each 2-week module, as we saw, there are 3 2-week modules in the course. There's an exam to test your knowledge of what you've learned in that module. So the exams require essay type responses. So they require you to write in 4 paragraphs and to sort of give your response in a sort of essay type format. So when I say an essay format, I'm not talking about essay formatting. I'm not talking about you sort of formatting it in a certain way. I'm not worried about bibliography and stuff like that. What I mean is just to explain your ideas by writing in paragraphs. It doesn't have to be as well structured and thought out as a take-home essay where you have a lot of time to focus on organization and stuff. In a timed exam, that's not the case. So structure isn't as important. What's important is just the ideas that you can write down and that you can formulate in the paragraphs that you write. So you'll have 2 hours to complete each exam. It must be completed in one sitting. It's a 2-hour online exam. So write down your ideas in paragraphs and write as sort of as fully as you can. And like I said, the exams are each 15% of the grade, so all 3 are 45%. The final exam is on the 3rd module of the course, which is on philosophy and mindfulness. Exam 2 is on civil disobedience, and exam 1 is after the 1st module on ethics and the good life. One more thing before we move on is that the exams will be, there's usually just 1 question, occasionally there may be 2, but the exams focus on 1 sort of essay type question. So you'll sort of respond to that question in and it's fairly open-ended to give you a chance to sort of express what you've learned and what you know about that subject. Okay, if you need to reach me, my office hours are Wednesday and Friday, 4 to 5:30. On Zoom, you'll see the Zoom link on the Brightspace site. If you don't see it and you want to come to office hours at any time, just email me. We can set up at any time outside these hours if that works for you. So email and you'll see. We can set up a time. If you can't find the Brightspace link, again, I can send that to you. The Zoom link, sorry, on Brightspace, I can send that to you. So if you need to meet with me at any time, just send me an email and we can make a time, or you can come to office hours. All right, good luck in the course. If you need to reach me, here's my email and phone. Again, they're posted on the Brightspace site, so you'll see them. Reach out if you need anything. Looking forward to getting to know you all during the course. And I wish you all good luck, and I hope it's a rewarding experience.